Hey guys, M2 Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the second video in the Operation Monster Force round. Here we have the Season 2 Dr. Caligari and the Lieutenant Griffin the Eraser. So these are the bad guys. So I put these two videos together, these two figures together in this video. The previous video had Halloween Boy, the Donner Party, and General Brown, of course, so make sure to go ahead and check out that video. Today, Big Bad Toy Store and Big Bad Workshop actually posted that these are going to be shipping out very, very soon. Soon. The reason for the delay in these figures, so you guys are aware, is because of the tariff situation and then just the transit time that it takes to get from the factories in China over to the US. So obviously that takes some time, but they are very soon going to be shipping out. So big shout out to Big Bad Workshop and Big Bad Toy Store for getting out these few early samples so I can review for you guys, get you hyped up, get you guys ready. Pre-order links in the video description below if you're looking to pick up these figures. The Lieutenant Griffin I am very excited about, as I have the two previous exclusive versions. These were like Joe Fest and Joe Lanta, I think it was, or Toy Lanta, excuse me. But this one is like the full color version, not the translucent like. So we have Lieutenant Griffin there, so I'm excited about that. And then we've got Dr. Caligari here, which is like creepy looking dude with the brain and all kinds of crazy stuff. So looking at the package, you can see we get a figure, look at the figure on the front of the package. As you can see on the side, we've got number 14 and number 16, Dr. Caligari, and the Lieutenant Griffin the Eraser. Looking at the back of the package, you can see the cross-sell for all the figures in Season 2. Again, these are Season 2 figures. General Brown was a Season 0 figure. Season 0 originally were like Season 2 figures, but they were retroactively changed to Season 0. But Season 0, Season 1, and Season 2 figures will be in stock and shipping out soon. So if you missed out on some of the Season 1 figures, those are going to be also shipping out soon as well. There are some Season 1 that's currently in stock, but some that are listed for pre-orders. But anyway, the bio for these guys are going to be the same. It reads, "A dark escalation begins. As the war escalates, the Forgotten King deploys new minions against the Delta Red. He quietly recruits a descendant of the Invisible Man, the Eraser, to carry out targeted assassinations while Dr. Caligari shows himself on the battlefield at last to introduce his new legion of aerial sleepwalkers. When the general narrowly escapes an assassination attempt, Declan Van Helsing and Dracula decide to take swift action. They modify a sample of vampire blood to create shadow ghoul bodyguards. The new team of Blackwatch agents are quietly added to the protection details of high-ranking officials. In addition, Declan is able to recruit two new allies, the mysterious Halloween Boy and a creature from America's past, a being who calls himself the Donner Party. Will these new additions to Operation Monster Force be enough to answer the Forgotten King's dark escalation?" So we shall see. Let's go ahead and check it out. When you open up the package, we actually get a magnet as opposed to like the Velcro of the Season 1 figures there. We get some artwork, some comic strips there on the front, which looks really cool. So if you want to like read that, you can pause that and check that out. And then looking at Dr. Caligari's, you can take a look at that if you want to pause it and then check it out. But let's go ahead and open up these two figures and let's take a look. Okay, so before we actually look at those figures, I also want to kind of highlight this. This is the Phantom Core Defense Loadout. So this is an accessory pack. I did not get a Phantom Core Legion figure, so I don't have, I can't put these accessories with one of those guys. But this is number 25. Again, it is the Phantom Core Defense Loadout, as you can see, along with Season 0 stuff. You've got the Apophis Legion, a couple of different versions, and then you got the Phantom Core. So the Phantom Core would be the good guys, but then, when Dr. Caligari gets a hold of them and then become zombies, that's when you have the Apophis Legion there. So that is the loadout pack. So let's go ahead and open it up. Let's take a look at what we've got inside. So you guys can see, what's all included in the loadout pack, because this thing is packed with all kinds of stuff. So let's take a closer look at each of these things. Okay, so it looks like we've got a hat. We've got some different accessories. Like, I'm not even sure what that is. That might go with the shield there. The little bit of translucent. We've got some camo. In there we get a helmet there. We get an additional head sculpt. Get a couple of guns, which is really cool. We got a chainsaw. It's got some blood on there, which is kind of crazy. We got some muzzle flare effects. All kinds of things going on. So this is the Phantom Core Defense Loadout Pack. If you're looking to add this to your collection, if you're picking up, the Phantom Core, or if you're getting any kind of the Apophis Legion, this will go really well with them there. So that is the Defense Loadout Pack. Okay, so we've got Dr. Caligari and we've got Lieutenant Griffin the Eraser. Everything that I said about Halloween Boy being my favorite figure of like this wave or the two waves, the season. Yeah, no, I was wrong. Lieutenant Griffin the Eraser is hands down, the absolute best figure in the wave because he's got. First of all, he's loaded with an insane amount of accessories. Like, it's overwhelming how many accessories that he comes with. Like, it's crazy. I will go all through that kind of one by one here shortly. Dr. Caligari doesn't come with a whole lot, but what he comes with in that briefcase there is pretty freaking cool. So, we will get to that. But Lieutenant Griffin, the Eraser, this figure is awesome. These guys right here are great. These ones are great. These ones are great. These ones don't compare to the regular version of Lieutenant Griffin the Eraser. This guy is so damn cool. In my opinion, if you're going to get one Operation Monster Force figure, it's going to be Lieutenant Griffin the Eraser. Has to be. If you get two, you get Halloween Boy. If you get three, you get a Delta Red figure because those things are awesome as well. But man, the Lieutenant Griffin the Eraser, he's so cool. We're going to start off with him. Then we'll get... No, you know what? We're going to do Dr. Caligari first. We're going to get Dr. Caligari out of the way. He's great. He's super cool. The head sculpt brain thing is super unique. It's crazy. And his accessories are cool. While limited, are cool. We're going to quickly go over him. And we're going to focus a lot more on Lieutenant Griffin the Eraser because he's just so cool. So Dr. Caligari, let's zoom in. Okay, so here is Dr. Caligari. Dr. Caligari is basically going to be like the Sleepwalker figures. He's got the long trench coat in there, though, which is going to hinder the articulation in terms of like his kind of upper bar. Oh, you know, it's two separate pieces. So you can get some movement out of the torso, and the legs aren't hindered too much. It's a very soft plastic part of this trench coat there, but that's not a big deal. But what we have here, it's cool. It's painted nicely. All good there. The head sculpt, again, very unique. I don't even know like what to call it. Like, this dude's got a brain. Well, that's kind of dumb. I guess we would all have brains, but like an exposed brain, but not really exposed because it's in this plastic case. Like, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know how he sees. I don't know any of it, but it's crazy, creepy, weird looking, and it's painted really nicely. So that's Dr. Caligari. He comes with this gun here. I feel like we got this gun with some of the Sleepwalker figures from the previous season, and we get this like green electric like type effect piece here where you can piece these two together. Like it pegs in the middle of that one. And let me put that together. And then you could peg this on the end of the gun here. Whoop. Hold on. You could put this on the end of the gun. There, right at the end of the muzzle flare. So he can shoot it. And that's what he's got going on there. So we get this. This is cool. I like it. It's great. The briefcase. The briefcase itself is cool. I like the briefcase, suitcase, briefcase. It's black. It's cool. But look what's inside. 2 different containers. Okay, you're thinking, what are the containers? The containers are freaking cool. If you've ever seen the movie The Rock with Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage, you will kind of recognize this. So you have this silver canister. 2 of these silver canisters. They open up to reveal these beads, these translucent green beads in there. Very reminiscent of the movie The Rock, where those things were super deadly poisonous gas. Like, if you get close to them or something, you're gonna like super die, your skin's gonna melt, it's gonna be gross. These are basically those. And that was one of the greatest movies of all time. And then now we have this in toy action figure form, and it's just so cool. But you get 2 of them. So this is just super cool. I'm sorry. These are one of the coolest accessories ever. So Dr. Caligari is worth picking up just for these canisters alone, in my opinion. And then you get this nice briefcase to safely hold them in, which is really cool. So that is Dr. Caligari. In addition to the gun and all of that, he has a bunch of extra hands. He's got 1, 2, 3 extras, 3.5 extra sets of hands. So out of the package, he has trigger finger hands on there. You also get standard grip hands so he can hold on to the briefcase. And then, of course, you get fists, which, you know, everyone's got to have fists, right? And then you get the open hands, like so. And then you have one finger pointed... Whoop. I dropped it. You get 1 finger pointing hand. But that's Dr. Caligari. That's all he comes with. And, of course, the Tombstone Dr. Caligari nameplate stand. But that's all he comes with. Not a whole lot. He probably has some of the lighter accessories out of most of the Operation Monster Force figures, I would say. But, again, this is the absolute coolest accessory. These canisters right here. So cool. Now we're going to switch gears and jump over into Lieutenant Griffin the Eraser. Okay, Lieutenant Griffin the Eraser. God, man, this figure's so good. So good. He's loaded with accessories. He's got some crazy cool stuff. The thing I want to talk about the most is the paintwork on this guy. Like, he's got this crazy ass pattern to his clothes. Like, what kind of pattern even is this? Like, there's so much detail into, there's so many paint hits, deco hits, like, it's kind of crazy. Because, the translucent ones, there's no paint on there, so you don't get a feel for it. You can see the texture and whatnot, sure, but there's no painted detail in the design of his clothing, his uniform. Like, it's just crazy. I mean, look at all that. All throughout the figure, it's insane. And then he's also got a very different vest compared to the one that we had on the translucent version. So he's got the full decked out gear, and you do get some swappable pieces in there. It's crazy because these vests are modular. You can remove these different pieces and all of that. So to start off with some of the accessories, we get this little badge piece here that honestly I can't read it. It says you can't tell. You can't kill what you can't kill what you can't see. Like, that's creepy and crazy, right? So you can't kill what you can't see. So he's got that. He's also got this, and this is, I think, the logo of like the bad guys, right? So he's got that badge there. So if you want to put that over there, you could put that, and you could swap it around. You can put it in different places. So you got that. And then you also got this other piece, and this is the knife sheath. So he has a knife here, and so you could sheath the knife, but you can't really clip that onto anywhere else. You can kind of clip it, like you could put it on the back if you wanted to. He also has this additional holster, so you could put that on his back if that's what you wanted to do. So again, all these different options in there. Those are kind of the swappable pieces. He also has like this bandolier harness holster piece, so you can holster this other weapon. So he has this small gun here. He also has a bigger handgun that I have holstered on his right leg. So you get the larger pistol, and then you get the smaller one. This one is nice because it has like a little bit of like silver dry brushing on that to bring out the details, whereas this one's just like a flat black plastic. So we have those weapons there. Continuing on with the weapons, we also get a couple of big guns. We got this guy here. That looks good. It's just all black with some silver dry brushing. And again, these are all sculpted by Gridiron Studios. You got the removable magazine in there, so that is good. Looks great. So it's like a grenade launcher type thing. He's got this other rifle here, which also looks good. Again, you got that removable magazine there with the painted bullet in there, which is great. We also get an additional magazine, so you could always swap those out. Or you can have your, doing your pictures or whatever you want to do there. We get the muzzle flare pieces, so these are the same that we had seen with the Donner Party as well as Halloween Boy. So you get the 3 muzzle flare pieces there. We got those, and then we also got the smoke piece. Whoa, where is it? We got the smoke piece to the barrel as well. And then we have a bunch of extra hands. So here's the deal with Lieutenant Griffin the Eraser. He's clear, right? He's the invisible man. That's what he does. So you also have these goggles. Although the goggles are silver with some red in there. So if you take the goggles off, you can see it's clear. So I guess the head sculpt, they just painted the whole head sculpt, all the bandages and everything. That's all painted on there because the head is translucent, because you look at the eyes, it's translucent in there. So we have that going on. So if you look at his arms are exposed. They are translucent plastic in there. That's a great thing. You also get these wraps. So if you wanted to cover that up, you could put these arm pieces on there so you could wrap, and then you could cover the arm. So we have those accessories there as well. So here's the thing. We got gloved hands on there, right? So we get these hands. I've already swapped one out. Out of the package, they have the trigger finger hands on there. In addition to the trigger finger hands, you have those open hands there. In addition to that, you get fists. So we get a right and the left fist for him. And then we also get standard grip hands there. The trigger finger hands have the vertical hinge. Do they have the vertical hinge? They have the vertical hinge, whereas all the other hands have the standard horizontal hinge. So you got that going on there. So that's Lieutenant Griffin, the Eraser. But here's the thing. He's the invisible man. So you can have the wraps in there so you could see the shape of his head and all that. And you got his neck. You could see that his neck is wrapped up. But here's the thing. You could just take that off. Just pop the head off. Take it off. Put the neck on. The translucent neck. Let me get it on there. I'm going to have to probably do that off camera because it's a little stiff. Yeah, I'm going to have to do it off camera. But you get the translucent neck, and the unmasked, helmeted, like unwrapped head. You get a head sculpt for Lieutenant Griffin the Eraser. We did not get this with those previous exclusive versions. So I'm gonna put this neck and head together and then pop it on the figure so you guys can take a look. So that's what we got going on now. Okay, so not gonna lie to you guys, that was a pain. I had to heat up the neck to get it to pop on there, but I finally got it on there. So we got the translucent head on there. And we got that. So he's very normal looking, which is a little bit of a surprise. But man, it is awesome that we have these different options there. So the next bit of that is we have a bunch of translucent hands now. So you have the gloved hands on there. So if you want to make him a little bit more translucent and invisible, we get clear fists. We get clear saluting hands. We've got clear grip hands. And we've got clear trigger finger hands. Like, there's so many options with this guy. It is absolutely insane. Like, it's crazy, again, how good this guy is. Again, best figure in the whole lineup. Like, at first, it was one of the Delta Red figures that was my absolute favorite. But this guy is the clear winner. Easily the absolute best in the Operation Monster Force line. So good. Now let's go ahead and jump into the articulation for each. All right, so Dr. Caligari, this weird head thing, so he can look up, as you can see there, and you could kind of point his brain down if he were to look down, if that's what you would call it there. And then you can get some pivot and everything in there, so that is good. The arm you can get to go straight on out like so. Full rotation in there. You got the upper bicep swivel in there. Double jointed pinless elbow gives you that much bend there at the elbow. Wrist swivel, and they do hinge. Standard horizontal hinge on all the hands except for the trigger finger hands. Do have the vertical hinge on there. The torso, you could tilt Dr. Caligari to his left only a little bit, because the overlay on the torso, you can tilt to the right a little bit. You can lean back only a little bit, and then you can come forward a little bit in there, and then of course you get the full swivel in there. Legs go out that far apart. You do get the slits in the cut of the trench coat, so you can get the legs out to the side. You do have the drop down hips on there. It's a little hard to see, but you do get the drop down hips, and then you can kick forward that far, which is good. The leg doesn't really go back a whole lot. You got an upper thigh cut in there, double jointed pinless knee. These look to be the same legs as like the Forgotten King. So if you have the Forgotten King, you know exactly what to expect there. And then you get a boot swivel, foot hinges down all the way. You get a little hinge up, ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So that's Dr. Caligari. But again, he's just kind of a mad scientist kind of guy. So is he really going to be doing a whole lot of the battling? No, he's going to be bringing those dead Phantom Corps troopers and turn them into the Apophis Legion, right? So that's Dr. Caligari there. Lieutenant Griffin the Eraser, so the head, the neck, each neck, whether you're using the bandaged version or the translucent one, is on a disc hinge, so you can get him to look up, you can get him to look down, which is good. Oh, pop that head off. Let's go ahead and just put this one back on there then. We'll go there. But yeah, you can get him to look up, you can get him to look down, that's not a problem, and then you could kind of pivot and tilt the necks to the side. You can get the arm to go straight on out like so. Full rotation in there. You do have the butterfly joint, so you can get the arm to go back a little bit. The rubber overlay vest does kind of hinder that a little bit. And then coming forward for some crossbody, it hinders a little bit, but you can do some in there. You got the upper bicep swivel in there. Double jointed pinless elbow gives you that much bend at the elbow. Wrist swivel, and they do hinge. Standard horizontal hinge again on all of the hands, but the trigger finger hands do get the vertical hinge on there. You got the ball joint at the torso, and then at the waist, and the torso joint, but the rubber overlay vest does hinder it a bit, but you can get him to tilt to his right, his left that much. You can get him to tilt to his right that much. You can lean back a little bit, and then you can come forward a little bit. It is hindered again. The rubber vest does get in the way. You could swivel at the diaphragm. If you grip onto the waist, you could also swivel at the waist. Legs go out that far apart. You do get the drop down hips, so you can drop down the hip a little bit, as you can see there, and then you can kick forward that far there. The leg doesn't really go back a whole lot. You got the upper thigh cut in there. Double jointed pinless knee gives you that much bend there at the knee. You do get an ankle swivel in there, although the pant leg does come down a bit, so it hinders it a bit. Hinges down only a little bit because of the back of the pant leg, and you can hinge up a little bit because of the top of the pant leg there. You do have an ankle pivot and peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So a little limited. If you want to remove the rubber overlay vest, you can easily do so there on the side. And then you can, put it back on there. So all kinds of really good stuff. So that is Lieutenant Griffin the Eraser and Dr. Caligari, but Lieutenant Griffin the Eraser is hands down the absolute best in the Operation Monster Force line. Okay, so looking at some side-by-side comparisons, of course, the leader, the Forgotten King, along here with Dr. Caligari, and then let's take a look at, you know, obviously these two together because they are the bad guys of Season 2 for Operation Monster Force. But not only that, we'll take a look at Lieutenant Griffin, the Eraser, compared to the previous two exclusive versions. The electronic stealth detection there. So we have our Lieutenant Griffin, the Eraser. I love these two figures, but man, the regular version is just like so much better because you see all the details in it, which is nice. The translucent thing is cool, so depending on what you're trying to do, like photography wise or whatever, it works out great. But man, the regular version is just so nice. Okay, so here are the Season 2 and the Season 0 General Brown figures from Operation Monster Force. Again, very soon these will be shipping out, including some additional figures from Season 1. So if you missed out, lock in your pre-orders now so you can get shipped out soon. I don't have a general time frame, but again, Big Bad Workshop and Big Bad Toy Store posted today that like very soon, the time is finally here. So they are coming. These figures are awesome. You guys let me know down in the comments below which one is going to be your favorite. Lieutenant Griffin is my absolute favorite of the entire line. Halloween Boy is probably a close second, and then Delta Red, of course, from Season 1 is my my favorite figure of Season 1 for sure. But these are some awesome figures, so good for military stuff, good for monster stuff, as you kind of get the mixture of both going on there. So these are exclusive to Big Bad Toy Store, as Big Bad Workshop is kind of their manufacturing side of action figures, so where Fresh Monkey Fiction was kind of the originator of these and partnered with Big Bad Toy Store to create Big Bad Workshop, and this is kind of the flagship line Operation Monster Force. So links in the video description below if you're looking to pick up any of these figures and add them to your collection. But make sure to head over to BigBadToyStore.com to check out all the offerings from Big Bad Workshop, including the Operation Monster Force as well as their other lines. But you guys give me your thoughts down in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.